Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester. Panhandle Outdoors, your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. Glad you're here this morning. Got a big show lined up, two special guests here in the studio. A lot of fishing information this morning. But first, our weather brought to us by Haney Technical Center at the corner of Baldwin and Highway 77. Guess what? It's going to be warm again. High of 91, low of 79, and the water temperature bounced back up from 85 to 86. It's just warm out there all around, under the water and on top of the water. Let's take a look at our river readings. The Bluntstown reading is down to 1.9. That Apalachicola, but it sure has flat line. Not much going on at all, so right around 2 foot. Take a look at the Choctaw at Caryville on the screen there. It bounced up yesterday, it was dropping off. Right this morning, as high as it's going to get is at 5.7 now. That's a pretty good rise yesterday and over the night, but it's going to start dropping out this morning. It's going to drop out pretty fast, okay? The tide chart brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn Funeral Home and Cemeteries. Today is July the 13th, and we're getting back into some pretty good tides. They're not great, but they're decent, a lot better than we were last week. Looking at high tide this morning at 6:21 and a low tide at 6:10. Marine forecast south-southwest at about 5 to 10. All right, takes care of our weather. Let's go ahead and take a break, and we'll be right back. All right, welcome back, and welcome to our guests this morning. Two good fishermen here. Tyler, good morning.
Good morning.
Good to have you, Hatch.
How you doing, Winston?
Good to have you. All right, I'm going to let y'all introduce yourself. Tell the folks we're here with the Panama City Fishing Group, and we're going to get to that. But tell the folks a little bit about yourself, Hatch.
I'm Michael Hatcher. I work here locally at Robotics Security, RSSI. I started Panama City Fishing about 5 years ago, and just wanted to come on today and talk about it a little bit with you.
Okay. All right, Tyler.
I'm Tyler Gingrich. I work at the Undersea Solution Groups. We specialize in undersea vehicles and naval warfare parts. And I've been helping Michael with PCF for about 4 years now and bass fish tournament.
So you do some serious bass fishing.
Seriously, my wife will let me.
Yeah, that's what I don't believe is.
All right, I've been wanting to get these guys on this Panama City Fishing Group. How many members do you have now?
We have, on the main forum of Panama City Fishing, we have about 9,000 members.
Okay.
We have a for sale and trade group, which has about 5,000 members. And we have a Panama City Hunting, which is approaching 2,000 members.
Okay.
So together, we're about 15,000 members on Facebook.
This is really neat, and I jumped on it a while back, and great pictures in it. You can see on the show every now and then. I'll give them credit. I get a lot of pictures sent to me, but at times I put up a really good quality picture. Daily you get pictures.
It's amazing. People just love to show their catches, and that's what we're all about, is to post your pictures. And we've just seen over the years how much better people have gotten at taking pictures.
That's true.
On the boat instead of being dead in a bait well or something, holding, and they're holding them up now, and getting nice pictures. And you'll see when we show them that it's magazine quality on some.
It really is, and that's a good point how they've improved on it. And next segment we're going to show you a lot of different pictures, and it's freshwater and saltwater.
Every kind of fish. We go from when you're in Weewaw after bluegill to out to the big fish, the big blues.
Yeah.
So we encompass all the charter fishermen, all your wreck fishermen. We even have commercial fishermen on there because they fish too.
Oh,
and everybody posts on there. We get about 50 posts a day.
Is that right? Average, about 50 a day. Tell people how they can join it.
You simply do a search on Facebook for Panama City Fishing. There are other closely associated other websites, but look for the one that has the 9,000 members, and in your right place. Okay. And just do a search and then join. Just ask to join, and then you'll be added into the membership.
Tyler, not just you don't really just do bass fishing. You do some offshore fishing.
Yes, with Team Hearts Marine.
Team Heart. All right.
We do some pelagic tournaments and kingfish tournaments, the Mexico Beach kingfish tournaments, stuff like that. But we fish the Mobile Big Game and Fish Offshore Classic, and we're getting ready for the Lagoon Shootout they're putting on this year, the Outboard Shootout.
That's some really good stuff, and that's the beauty of being in Panhandle. Like you can go fishing, bass fishing one weekend, and next weekend you're 45, 50 miles offshore.
Absolutely.
That's a thrill, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
It really is.
That's why I retired here. I came here for the fishing. I didn't know anybody here. I said, I'm retiring here just because of the fishing.
There you go. So many of our viewers are the same way.
Yeah, that's partially the reason when I moved down here, I came down here for the fishing.
Well, tell us briefly about Hart's fishing team. Now, I know Bubba don't do any fishing because he can't catch any fish, but I know y'all do the serious fishing.
I run around the deck and help Bubba out where I can, and we got Chase that helps us out a lot, and then we brought Nate West on.
Yeah.
We've been teaching him, and he's taught us a few things last year or so. He's a good kid.
How old is Nate?
He's 13 years old.
Yeah.
And he can outfish a lot of grown men. He just loves doing it, and we like to help him.
That kid can fish.
I'm sorry?
That kid can fish.
He really can, yeah. And a lot of young people are getting good at this. I'm really impressed at it and how much they enjoy it and all.
Yeah, we bring, Panama City Fishing is about kids too, and we show everything that has, if there's kids' pictures, they get preference.
And also, you've done some rod and reels.
Oh yeah, combos for kids.
Okay.
We started that about 2 years ago. And we take in used rod and reels, and sometimes even people donate new ones in bulk, and we give them away. Just last weekend, we Troop 388 Cub Scouts. We gave them a dozen rod and reels, and they went out and had a blast.
That's great. And if people want to donate them to you, how can they get a hold of you?
Just on the Panama City Fishing, everybody knows me on there as Hatch.
Okay.
And I'm the main administrator. We have about 6 moderators on there. You can contact any one of them.
Okay.
And we'll gladly accept them and give them away.
All right, that sounds good. Well, we're going to take a break. We'll come back and look at a lot of these pictures, so we'll be right back. All right, welcome back with Tyler and Hatch, and with Panama City Fishing, and they sent some pictures last night. So we got a lot of pictures, and you're gonna be amazed at the variety. So let's talk about them as we go along. What about our first picture right here, guys?
This is Austin. He was in our 2016 Spanish Mackerel Kids Photo Contest, and he won, and you can see why. He went all out on this one, just clearly won it, hands down. Putting the mackerel in your mouth, I guess.
There you go. Okay.
This is just an interesting picture of 2 bass being caught at the same time on a frog lure.
Wow. A double header.
A double header. Okay. This is the win. I believe this is Chris and his girlfriend with 2 big AJs.
Yeah, they fought hard. That was a strong fight. Look how beautiful the water is.
Yeah.
This is a great picture.
Yeah, this is Brandon, one of our regulars. He's more on the west side of the beach, but he's after the magazine quality. He's definitely, you can see that shot there is just amazing.
Yeah.
This is a co-worker of mine. He got this nice hand painted down in Weewa.
All right, that looks familiar.
Yeah.
I caught him. All right.
I believe this is Chris Hall with a big mahi. He posted that this year. One of the bigger ones that were posted.
That is a big one now.
This is unknown. I'm not quite sure, but this is a big cat coming from the rivers.
I remember that. Okay.
Another unknown, but a big, nice double wahoo in the blue water.
Yeah, that's pretty. Again.
This is big lionfish. I just put this on there because you don't see them this big on rod and reel.
Yeah, that is.
They're catching them more and more
this year than normal. Do y'all see more of them when you're going out?
Yes. Well, we haven't caught one yet, but from our forum and talking to people, they're catching a lot more on rod and reel, and they're generally a fish you don't catch on rod and reel.
Yeah.
But look at the quality of that shot.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's really neat.
This is Nate West with his red snapper this year. It's one of the few he smiles in. I wish he smiled more. This was our #1 2016 post of the year. He got over 1,000 likes in one day.
That is good.
And nothing other than it's out at the base. And
I think he went out after work, if I remember right. Called it
yeah,
after
you
work.
just never know
Yeah.
what picture's going to go viral like that. You know? Gosh,
I can't remember her name, but she
got
won
two
our
cobia on
Yeah,
this
that
trip.
is a big one.
she won our red snapper photo contest in the kayak division last
And
year
she
as
just
well.
won a photo contest on Florida Insider Fishing Report also.
Oh, that's
It's
a
a
loss.
huge smoker.
You remember how much this weighed?
I think that may have been the one closer to 60 pounds.
60?
Last week we had 3 kingfish over 60 pounds posted on the site.
No kidding.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing.
Big triple tail was just caught a couple of weeks ago.
That's caught on Scott Fitzgerald's boat.
Yeah, Scott.
Okay.
Floating on a pallet or something, it was right behind it.
Big yellowfin was posted just this last week.
Yes, yeah, I remember seeing this one, and you can see, of course, where it gets the name yellowfin. You know, with those yellowfins, that's some good eating right there.
Big tiger shark.
That's caught over at Mexico Beach.
Yeah, and they got them in the water, measuring them, and getting the size of them, and all that. I'd be sure to stay on the back end of that.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Getting in the water with them.
I'm telling you.
He was a shade over 10 foot from what I'm remembering.
I heard about that. Okay, had not seen this picture until last night. So that's the one they got at Mexico Beach.
Yes, sir.
A 10-footer. Okay, I'd heard about that.
And this is yours truly, Tyler.
The Chase Hart.
Chase Hart.
That's our first dolphin of the year. A little early. We were out towards down below the Swanson, between there going back towards the Alaskan. And the water was great, just a little choppy that day, but that's first fish of the year is a good quality
That's a good
cow
one.
dolphin.
It sure is. All right.
This is Robin Holland, one of our regular posters. She's also a moderator on our Panama City hunting page. She's an avid hunter.
Okay.
And that's her twins.
Twin girls. All right. She's up in with Bonifay or Vernon somewhere.
Yes, sir.
I think I've seen her post before. She is an outdoor girl.
Oh my goodness,
I've
yes.
seen a lot of good pictures of her. All right, here we're going to get some bass pictures.
This is my nephew on Lake Seminole when we were doing a frog bite. And we caught, that's about a 4.5, 5 pound fish. And we had 8 to 10 fish in that range that day,
Oh,
all on
man.
frogs.
They were hidden.
Yes, sir. This is Deer Point during the spawn. About right when they started moving up. It's a quick trip, just checking out some things. And that's 6 pounder in my right hand and just a smaller buck bass on the right.
What time of year was this?
It's right in spawn, about March, mid-March.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, sir. And this is from our bass club tournament out at the end of the road. We had real nice bags that day. That was 16 plus pound bag off the river.
Good bag.
And we had it 14 pounds, I think, took second place, which I think's one of the pictures, and took 12 to take the money. That's Tournament of Champions on Lake Talquin. That's an unbelievable lake. That's 6 pounder in my right hand, and it didn't even get checked for big fish.
Wow.
9.5 pounds was big fish that day. It's outstanding lake for a smaller lake here in the Panhandle.
Wow. But that lake consistently has some big ones. This is a great color here. Tell us about this one.
Yeah, it's another one from Scott Fitzgerald and Shasta. I mean, they just make high quality pictures. They should really be sending these to the magazines.
Oh, man. And we'll save the best for last. What happened here?
Yeah, this was me and you. We met last year at a boat show.
Sure did.
And I made you an honorary PCF staff member.
I like that. All right. So, folks, you can see all the we're always talking about doing good things and positive things and all. I know if you're like me, you're so sick and tired of seeing the bad news all over the media and all. But you look at this kind of stuff right here, and that makes it means a lot to us. And if we all have it organized like this and all. Getting back to Lake Talquin, those big bass, that's phenomenal what you just said about 6 pounds. They didn't want to weigh it. That's embarrassing.
Yeah.
They
didn't even check it. And last month, one of the local guys weighed in over, I think, a 36 pound stringer, 5 fish.
That's
and
incredible.
It's just an outstanding stringer of fish here in the Panhandle.
Yeah. Well, we just had some quality lakes with Seminole, Lake Talquin, Deer Point, and Wimico.
The Apalachicola and stuff, the last couple of years has just came back so well with the high waters and the spawn.
Yeah.
I mean, it's taken 15, 16 pounds to win a tournament on average on the river. 3 years ago, 9, 10 pounds was a big bag down there.
That's right.
A lot of 3 pound range fish showing up.
Yeah. Good point right there, because it has made a great comeback on those river tournaments.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we're going to take our final break. We'll come back and show you some fishing techniques. All right? All right, welcome back. Having a great show this morning, as always, of course, but we've got some good information coming to you on how to catch some fish. But let's do our fishing game time first, brought to us by Barron's Barbecue Shrimp Marinade. The time this morning, 7:43 to 9:43, and this evening from 8:05 to 10:05. Do you guys do much night fishing during those times?
No, sir. I've done a little night fishing throughout the year, but I've been so busy I haven't been able to get out there at night.
I understand.
Now that you mention it, I just bought a FLIR, that new FLIR system, and I'm going to start putting that into my tactics of trying to get out there real early in the morning. I mean, before the sun rises, because before it was so hard to navigate to get out there at dark. But that FLIR lights it up.
All right. Hey, before we forget to, you want to say good morning to some folks?
Yeah, I'd like to say we got 3 new members in the last few days. Ted Myron had a baby boy, and Brian Bramlett had twin girls.
Okay.
Congratulations from PCF.
All right, good deal. All right, Tyler, now, we had an interesting conversation. You make your own tackle.
Yes, sir. I make my own jigs for bass fishing, and then I make offshore trolling lures and cobia jigs.
That is cool. So tell us a little bit about them and what you use them for and how you do it. And
well, this time of year, with the brim down at the river, we had a good mayfly hatch over the weekend down there, which is a little late, but the brim were all over the place on them. So I was targeting cypress and cypress roots, laydowns, and deeper laydowns up around in the Apalachicola River. And on the shallows, I'm trying to match the stump knockers. They get that real dark color this year, and just fishing black and a bluegill skirt.
Okay.
And that's on a 1/4 ounce slip sinker with the skirt, and fishing a Zoom Z-crawl that helps mimic bluegill really well.
Yeah.
And with this lighter presentation, I'm fishing less than 5 foot of water with it, and it drops just extremely slow.
Okay.
And they're usually hitting it on the drop. They're backed into the shade on the cypress trees and stuff, and they'll come up and hit it. And when the bluegills start following your bait around, you know you have something looking similar. And over the weekend, when you pitch it in, they would follow it down and follow it out of the roots. Now this, when I'm targeting them deeper, I caught several fish in the 10+ foot, 15 foot of water in deep brush piles, and I'm using a little lighter jig, mimic more just your regular brim and stuff, and fishing the 1/2 ounce jig so it can shoot through the tree better, drop faster.
I like that color.
And it's been a real good color. I caught several 6-pounders last winter here in drawdown on Deer Point on it. And but during the summer, I'm fishing 20-pound fluorocarbon, something a little tougher to get through the trees. And on everything that I use for pitching and flipping, I have 7:1 gear ratio or higher.
Okay.
On my fastest reel, Abbey Garcia has an 8-to-1 gear ratio now, and it pulls like 37 inches a turn.
Wow, cool. And what now? In the summertime, you say you use a 20-pound. In the wintertime, what do you try to use?
I knock down to 17 and 15 pound. The water gets clear. It's the fish are more sluggish, sometimes a little more finicky. So that lighter line seems to help. It definitely with the feeling of the fish when they hit. Cause a couple fish last year, they just pick it up and sit there.
Is that right?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Okay, these are your go-to baits.
For right now, yes,
now.
to get the more quality fish. Now, the topwater bite is still on, and honestly, you can catch them throughout the day on topwater in the eelgrass down on the lower end. The fish size isn't as big. They're 1.5 to 2 pounds during the day, but in the morning, you can get a 4 or 5 pounder sometimes come up and eat it. I've been throwing a Spro sliding frog over the eelgrass and around the laydowns in the morning.
Okay, that's really good advice for freshwater. Now, and any time of day, that's interesting. Any time of day you've been catching them? That's interesting.
But yeah, just find shady spot. You got to work a little harder. It seems like a lot of people give up on topwater first thing in the morning at the first hour.
Right.
But a bass will come up and hit topwater throughout the day.
That's an interesting point because most people don't food them with top water in the middle of the day.
Mm-hmm.
But it can.
Now, do you stop when the wind starts blowing? And
Well, it just depends how well they've been hitting topwater. But I mean, you're more consistent and bigger bites. The fish are going to move down to the shade, and you're going to have to go to them. But just to get out there and catch fish, you can go and just throw topwater. And kids like throwing topwater too.
yeah, it's more visual.
And they just get something to look at. And over the weekend, I actually had a redfish come up and hit my frog over the tournament of the weekend.
No kidding. Now, where were you?
That was in the lower St. Marks River.
Yeah.
So it's a little brackish water, but the
Yeah.
bass moved down there too. So.
Oh, we always talk about how much a redfish is so much like a bass a lot of times in his appetite and mannerism.
Yes, sir.
You
Same
find that?
tactics almost.
Yeah. Okay. What other kind of let's see, using a frog or spinning baits or any kind of
Throwing a buzz bait a little bit. There are a lot of smaller bait fish are showing up, look like almost menhaden in the lower end of the river, and they're hitting the smaller buzz baits. And actually, instead of a skirt, I've been putting on like a little 4-inch swim bait in place of the skirt, and it changes the whole profile of the bait to those smaller baits that are showing up, and the fish are like hitting that. That's a little secret I found out about a year ago down there.
That's cool. Okay, Hatch, we got to, in closing, what all do you have to say?
I'd like to mention that Glenn Iams is our new designer and sticker maker, and he's going to be offering these in a month or so. We're just getting the design down. If you have any ideas, just go ahead and tell me on the website. But he's going to offer 3 different sizes of stickers, the hats and the shirts, and just wanted to let everybody know.
And so we go on the website. and
Yeah,
find
we
those.
did the
Okay.
stickers last year. They were a flop. We bought the cheaper ones, and they didn't hold up in the weather. So,
Okay,
this
so-
year we're going kind of all out and getting weatherproof stickers and adding a little bit like the hats.
All right, that sounds good. Well, fellas, I want to thank y'all for coming on this
Yes, sir.
morning.
Thank you.
Good information.
Thank you for
good
supporting
show.
us.
All right, always good to see y'all.
Yes, sir.
And thank y'all for watching Panhandle Outdoors. I always appreciate your viewership. Make sure you do something good for your fellow man today. You have a great day. Enjoy the outdoors, and God bless.
Thanks for joining us for Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester. Panhandle Outdoors features hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.